Um, cool, yeah. So, do you want to go ahead and get started?
Yeah, I'll start the recording. Yeah. Basically, this is essentially my position. I think that Ryu, in like almost every single interaction against Yuta, he just completely violated and overpowered him. There's nothing really in Rika's kit or Yuta's kit that allows him to beat Ryu. The only reason why Ryu lost was he was caught off guard by the Uro's usage of. He basically didn't understand like what was happening. He got caught off guard by it. But if they were to fight again, he'd just slap it away again. He'd slap away his own technique.
Okay.
He's tanked it before. So
Okay, so you think it's just like the direct fight? Do you think Ryu's like the stronger or the superior character?
Clearly, every single exchange we could literally go every single exchange that him and Yuta have, and he's not even trying until up to when they start using domains, or like he tells Rika, "I'm about to give you an extra help, a big helping," then they pop domains. He not even trying yet, which is like really clear that he's not even trying yet because we have, he has an exchange with Rika, and then the exchange after he like slaps really badly. So I'm gonna explain something here. He has, I think, 2 different exchanges with Yuta at the start of the fight, and he's 0 diffs Yuta. Like, Yuta can't do anything. You know that, right? He's not even trying yet.
Yeah, hold on. I'll just put it like this. I think the beginning of the fight, I don't know if he was like having an upper hand. I know like they were kind of like swapping, and then you kind of like blast him off. They definitely were. Yeah. Prior to that,
it wasn't relative at the start of the fight. You can't.
Prior to that, they swap for a bit, and then he gets blasted off.
That's not relative.
Okay. What did you find in relativity?
Okay, I'm talking about relative. If we're going blow for blow, back and forth like nonstop, like you and me are relative. If you and me trade punches, and then we go to trade punches again, and I knock you out, and I completely remove you from the fight, we're not relative, dog. That's not relativity.
Okay. So you're saying that, let's say, like, we're going, like, blow for blow, like, it kind of seems relative, and then I just throw a punch and one-shot you? Like, just knock you out directly
like,
we
could have a... Okay, so you're talking... At the beginning of the exchange, we're feeling it out, and all of a sudden you're, like, in the moon. Like, were we really relative? No, we weren't relative. That's
okay.
That's like trying to give
like by default. By default, we'd assume we're relative.
No, we're not relative because we saw the full exchange. He lost.
Yeah, Jester. Let me finish.
But look, I'm gonna explain like this. Okay, he loses the exchange. He immediately goes back to redo it and then gets blasted off the same way.
Yeah, we can get to that later. I'm going to dismiss that for now. We can stick to this one for like right now. Okay.
This is the same thing. I didn't move.
Yeah. Hold on. I know it's the same point, but I'm talking about a specific instance right now, and I'll just focus on this specific instance.
That's the instance I'm talking about. I've just used.
If you want to say something after, listen. Hold on. Jester, 1 sec. Okay. I'm saying they swap hands, right? They swap hands with each other. And then afterwards, when Yuta switches his position, Ryu just catches him off guard and sends him flying.
He doesn't get caught off guard.
Dude, he's literally going around him. He's literally going, yeah, sure.
He's not off guard. They're both on guard, and he shoots him from his back. He's not. I'll literally post a panel. You're just a fool for even asserting that. This is not.
You can go ahead and prove that. But hold on, let me grab
this is not off guard. I'll show you right here. This is what you're referring to, by the way. This is the first time he gets blasted in the air. Look at scans. Yo, Tense, are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is not off guard. They both put themselves in this position, by the way.
Do you know what Yuta's doing right now, by the way?
I can see scan. Wait. What the fuck can I see scans?
He got to his back.
Yeah, I just want to know if you like actually know what Yuta's like trying to do right now.
He's trying to hit him. That's why he got to his back. He tried to get to an
Jester.
position.
Can you send the scan in general if you want me to see it? Because for some strange ass fucking reason, I can't see the channel.
There you go.
They have me fucked up.
Yeah, here you go. Look at general.
Okay.
He literally verbatim tells him like, "You're not strong enough. Like, I'm unsatisfied."
This is so funny because. Dude,
yeah, it's hilarious.
This is actually crazy. This is actually crazy because every time Yuta interacts with Granite Blast, he dodges it or blocks it. But in this instant, where he's turning around, his like, exclamation mark after this, right? So he's like, "What the fuck?" He gets hit by it. Sure, bro.
Why do you think he gets hit? Okay, why do you think he gets hit by it?
Because he wasn't aware of what the thing was gonna do. He wasn't aware of what was gonna happen. He hasn't seen Granite Blast before this. He hasn't seen it before this.
What do you mean, bro? Okay, let's say I grant that, right? Let's say I grant that right there. Then why did he get 0 diff in the same way right after this?
Where does he get 0 diff? You keep saying that. Where does he get 0 diff?
I'm gonna show you. Okay.
Like, nice, you get an off guard battle.
He gets okay. You're saying he's off guard here. Same exchange happens. He gets blasted off again. Why? Here it is. Here it is for you, Tesla. Same exchange happened. He gets blasted off in the same way again. Why?
Yeah, okay, he gets wait, which one are you talking about?
Okay, this is immediately after this. So here's what you're saying. You're saying, okay, he's off guard, so you couldn't prepare for it. Fine, let's grant it. They get into the same exchange again, and he does the same thing to him again. Now he's aware of what's happened. So what's your excuse?
All right, Jester, but that's the problem. If he's fighting him whenever he's in a close range capacity with him, yeah, sure, he's unable to outright react to it, right? But what I'm saying is when it's conventionally shot at towards him, he either blocks it with his hand or he just moves out of the way.
Yeah, first off, I already explained to you, well, the whole point of the fight, and what I'm explaining to you is that this is a close quarters combat fight. He's engaging in close quarters combat.
Right now he's choosing to.
Yuta consistently engages in close quarters combat. So
yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
So if his whole thing is close quarters combat and he's getting outdone multiple times in close quarters combat, what are you even trying to say?
Right. But what I'm saying is this is a version of Yuta.
Let me open the door for a minute. Give me a second.
Okay.
Continue.
All right. So my argument basically is that I agree that he's what's it called? Whenever he's getting super close range, you kind of blasts him off, right? To gain distance. But I'm saying, don't you think it's much harder to react to something when you're literally interact with the person who's about to create a technique? It's gonna blow you off.
I'm not okay. If he understands how this guy's technique is working, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that he can't react to it from close range. That's perfectly okay with me. That's the whole point of close quarters. If Ryu's not even trying yet this fight, and one person's whole thing is close quarters combat, he's clearly not. He says I'm unsatisfied. He says I'm unsatisfied. He only starts trying. Post.
I don't see why that means he's not trying.
He says I'm going to give you an extra big helping. He has energy to spare. He's not using all of his power. It's
wait, which part am I?
He gets into a fight with Rika, and he's like, "Oh, you're a little tougher than this guy. I'm gonna give you an extra big helping." And 2 chapters after this, he punches her so hard that they said even if Rika was fully manifested, it would have just
send me the extra big helping statement. Send me that statement.
Do you not know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Send me the statement.
Yeah, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here it is. Yeah. He uses food reference. Can you see it? He uses food references to talk about the level when he's fighting. That's why when he blasts off Yuta, he's like, "I'm really unsatisfied. I'm hungry." That's what he says. Then he punches her. And he's like, "Oh, you're a little tougher than Yuta. You're up for an extra big help."
Wait. Right after this, he doesn't interact with Rika again, right? He focused on Yuta.
Right after this, because he jumps into his face.
So your initial claim was when he finds out that Rika's more durable, he says you're going to get extra helping, and then he attacks Rika, and now you're saying, okay, that is not the case. He says you're going to get extra helping, and then changes back to Yuta, right? I don't see the connection here.
No, he doesn't. They get into a domain clash, actually.
No. Okay, that has my point then. Okay, so if he was talking about a domain clash, then that doesn't mean he was holding back. That's just talking about a domain.
Yeah, Tanwin, what's my argument? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that at certain points in the fight, he's only exerting X amount of energy, right? Okay, he starts fighting Rika, he starts exerting more, and then he does domain. That helps my argument. That means he's using more power now.
Right.
Right. Okay, right. I know.
The exertion is a domain.
Right.
Okay.
But then, here's the next part. Here's the next part of the argument.
Hold on.
Tell me, you're not addressing your part. Here's what I'm telling you. He pops domain. He starts using more energy. After this, they make a statement. They say even after his curse technique is gone, he could still exert. He could still put out the same amount of output as he can with the curse technique. then he punches Rika so hard in the face, right? That he punches her so hard. It's the first time
we can get into like Ryu and Rika in a
listen,
sec.
but this is the argument. He punches. This is what we're talking about right now. He like after this domain, they start beam clashing. He violates him in the beam clash twice. He punches Rika so hard that they say that even if she was fully manifested, she couldn't come back. Meaning, post when he says this, he gets like clearly stronger.
Yeah, I'll steal mine this for now because you've like successfully like drove away from like the first thing that we were going over, which is the first instance.
Yes, because
right?
I'm beating you.
Because
I
had something to add, but then you kept getting into this. Regarding the first instance, I think when you're occupied with someone or when you're in a position where you're having a much harder time to react to them because you're doing something. Right, I agree. When you're doing something and then Ryu uses his thing against him, it's much harder for Yuta to react in that situation.
Are you talking about close quarters combat?
Mm-hmm. When he's like, let's say, when he's
not
like
occupied, the thing that
he just pinned him to the ground.
Okay, first off, this is why I'm confused. You're saying he's occupied with something. You're talking about like if it's some third party like confusing him. Yuta, let's say I granted the first time he wasn't aware of the blast. That's fine. That's perfectly okay. Now he's aware that he can blast from all these multiple types of positions. So Yuta knows this. And he's still engaging him in close quarters combat with this in mind. If this is still blasting him, that just means at the end of the day, he can't engage him close quarters. He just loses every single time.
Okay. But again,
so this is the worst part of this argument. I don't know why you're even running this argument. Even from long range, he can't beat him because he gets slammed into the floor from the granite blast again.
No, he literally blocks it, but or dodges it. But
no,
hold
he doesn't.
on.
Tanwin.
Yeah, I'll get to that. Wait. Stick to one thing. Stick to one thing.
I'm sticking to what we're talking about right now.
No, we're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. I keep saying that, and you don't. You're not. You're not. Jester, wait. I'm not confused. I'm not confused. I want to talk about this specific point. I want this specific point.
Wait,
hold on.
Tanwin.
Bro, do y'all want moderation?
Bro, listen.
Jester, this isn't relevant. I was speaking. It was my turn to speak. There was a certain point that I want to go over.
I'm responding to you, Tanwin.
Tanwin, I haven't finished.
Tanwin,
I haven't finished.
Wait, both of you. Do y'all want me to mod this?
You go ahead and mod it. He's just retarded. Like, I don't know what like, bro, Tanwin, use this as a point with me. I'm addressing the point you use against me. You talked about it. He just, from long range, he blocks it. And then you even said that he's choosing to engage him in close quarters combat. If there is something that Ryu has that doesn't allow Yuta to even engage him in close quarters anytime, they just loses all the time. He can't beat him in close quarters. You talked about from long range or from farther range, he just blocks the granite blast. They engage in beam struggles 3 times. And what does Ryu do to him? Slams him and Rika into the wall and slaps away pure love. He can't do anything from far range, can't do anything from short range.
In the third instance, before like Ryu loses, he literally reacts close range. But in this specific instance, I want to go over something. I think Yuta literally has him pinned to the ground. He punches him. Why would he expect someone to like throw an attack when they're like getting dicked down by him? Like, I wouldn't expect, like, if I punch someone, I wouldn't expect them to like immediately do something in retaliation while I just finish my punch and they're knocked on the ground. It's like an unexpected thing. He just randomly threw it.
That's like kind of baseless because we know this guy A is an expert fighter and is pretty well versed in jiu-jitsu. This beam has a charge up too. We know this beam has a charge up. Like for
we don't know how long it is.
Okay, it's about as long as his charge up for pure blood because
pure blood
they shoot at the same time. Yeah, it's true. They shoot at the same time.
Okay, we don't know how fast the pure blood is as well. Actually, wait. Wait. Why does them shooting at the same time mean that they were charged up at the same time?
That's they charge it. We see.
You know, they mutually agree.
At the same time.
They mutually agree to do this thing, right? They mutually agree to shoot at each other, right?
The whole point of this is they want to beat each other. If one person was demonstrably faster than one another, or if the charge up was just faster than one another, they wanted to hit at the same time. Like you can't.
No, oh my god! If Ryu wants Yuta to output fully, and then Yuta's about to output fully. If Yuta's about to output fully, right? Ryu has the incentive to wait now so he can get a full gauge of Yuta's power and get hit by a max power strike from Yuta. That's what he wants. His dessert is getting hit by the best attack ever. The best attack he could possibly get hit by. That's what he wants right now.
Yeah, he wants to get in a beam struggle, but then he swaps it away and he calls it sweet. The problem that I'm having with your argument, and this is what I've broken it down pretty simply, like really easy before. You're saying that okay, he's invested in something, then gets hit with the beam. I'm saying he's already aware that he could do this from these positions and knows he's eventually gonna blast them, but still can't react to it from close range. So there's something impeding Yuta.
Can you prove that?
There's some. I'm talking right now. There's something impeding Yuta. Yeah, there's something impeding Yuta to be able to engage him from close range. And my evidence is he literally gets blasted off the first time. I granted that he doesn't know what's happening then, but now Yuta knows that he could do this. Still engages him close range, knowing he could do this, so he would be expecting it. That's just the case. Unless you have counter evidence for that Yuta just magically in his brain has brain lag, and he's like, oh, he's just never gonna shoot me with the beam again. Go ahead and prove that. Prove that, bro. Please prove that. Please prove that. Please prove that.
Just for chat, I didn't mute Jester, by the way. That was the moderator. But regardless, Jester, the thing I want you to prove is I agree that we've seen him like charge it up, right? And again, I give the argument for the whole charge up thing, but we've seen Ryu do that from one position prior to this, which is when Yuta was in his back, Ryu's like completely like up, he's ready to fight, he's going, and then he hits him with the blast, right? But what I'm saying in this instance, he's knocked down to the floor. I agree, he's just an expert fighter, but when you knock someone down, you don't expect for them to attack you while they're knocked down, right? So I don't see the correlation between these two things. You can name me the instances where Ryu's done it before, but none of them are similar to this kind of situation. I don't see why you would expect him to just randomly do this right now. I don't see why he's on guard. That's what I'm asking you to prove. Why do you think Yuta was expecting Ryu to be able to do this, and you're unable to prove this right now?
Yeah, your whole basis for him not thinking he's going to shoot is Ryu being on the floor, which is literally useless. If he knows that he shoots these beams from awkward positions from the first interaction, why would he be like, oh, he's on the floor, so he magically is never going to shoot this beam at me?
Why was the last position awkward? Why was it awkward?
Because he shot from his back. He didn't shoot directly from the cannon.
Yeah, that's okay, but why does that make it a bad position for him? He can shoot from any part of his body. He could like shoot off from his dick. Why does that matter?
That's helping my argument. That's the point. If he's aware that he could shoot off from every part of his body, why was Ryu magically being on the floor mean? And Yuta's brain, oh, he's just not going to shoot it. That makes common sense to you. That's logical.
Yeah, but Jester, you have a misunderstanding of my argument. You have a misunderstanding.
No, okay.
Yes, Jester, because what I'm questioning isn't where he can shoot it from. The reason it's unconventional isn't because he can't, like, it's surprising he can just shoot it up from nowhere. The reason it's unconventional is because I don't think Yuta would be expecting him to shoot it out while he's laying down. It's not where the courage energy is coming from, it's the ability to release it or charge it in the first place. So whether he can shoot it from his back or not isn't a defeater.
You're going circular. I've been addressed this. I'm saying him being on his back, if he already knows he could shoot it from any position, you've already clarified, he could just shoot the beam and summon the beam from anywhere. Yuta knows this now. Why is Ryu being on his back magically make Yuta go, oh, I don't think he's going to shoot this now, which is literally not the most logical conclusion that we could come to. He should probably be expecting the beam coming from anywhere.
Yeah, that's your headcanon, bro.
That's not headcanon.
That's your headcanon.
Okay, if you agree with me that he understands that he could shoot this beam from anywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
He's expecting him that he could shoot this beam from anywhere. But
you're not addressing the point.
Okay, we know and Yuta knows he can shoot this beam from anywhere, but you're saying that now that he's on his back and pinned down on the floor, he can't shoot this beam. Yuta just doesn't expect him to shoot the beam. That's not logical. And then you just circular.
Yeah, we can move on from this. That's not circular at all. There's no circularity in that argument, but we can move on, bro.
That's not.
Hold on.
Do you want judgment?
I want judgment.
I want to conclude, though. I want to conclude.
Conclude, please. Okay. He's not a coherent individual.
All right, cool. So basically, I want to stick to the first instance where Yuta shoots him. I mean, Ryu shoots him from his back, right? And then Yuta gets blown off. Yeah, I think this was like from an unconventional position. I want to also, just for like clarification's sake, I don't want to like wrap it up in an entire debate. I still have like an argument for this.
Yeah,
like,
so I know it's just the point. But finish your conclusion.
Yeah, he gets shot, right? Which is fine because he does it from his back and he hasn't seen granite blast before, so he has no reason to be expecting this. And then I point out exclamation marks, which that just very, like directly puts him off guard. I create the correlation, Jester gonna attack it. Whatever. Bro, I'm concluding. I
granted this. Just finish
your conclusion. Cool. Let me finish. Just And then the second instance when he's on the floor, Jester keeps saying he's shot it out from unconventional places before, right? Like his back or his awkward positions. So Yuta should be expecting this. What I'm putting into question isn't where he can shoot it out from, is that whether he even has a capability to charge it up because he's being beaten down. Jester doesn't attack that. And I give an instance, keep in mind, Jester doesn't attack this as well. I said that when he interacts with it the third time for close range in a completely conventional manner, Yuta directly reacts to it and then beats Ryu. So yes, in close range he can react to him, and I've listed down like an instance where he does, and these other two outlier instances I've contextualized them. One which he has granted, and the other one I've just debunked right now. So
yeah, that close range stuff he wasn't saying, but I'll
I definitely did
address that right after this. Yeah, we're talking about two different instances where he doesn't react to him. He literally says he's off guard in this one instance, and this other instance he's also off guard because he's not expecting him to shoot from here. I'm telling him that it's not. And by the way, he brings up this argument that because he's pinned on the floor, he's not gonna expect him to shoot him. I put that into question by saying that wouldn't be logically coherent in Yuta's mind if he's an expert fighter and knows he could shoot this from unconventional positions, even if he's getting beaten down, which I addressed him pretty clear. Even if he's pinned on the floor, which he said specifically, pinned on the floor, he's mid-punch and gets blasted. We've already been over this, and I posted the scan. He's mid-punch and he gets blasted. This is the whole point of us talking about he's seeing him charge it up. Then he's like, oh, he can't react to it from this close. Remember that? He's not punched yet. He hasn't punched him. He's on the floor, just laying on the floor. And we're talking about he sees the charge up. So he just can't react to it because he didn't expect him to shoot it from there. But I'm saying he's been expecting him to shoot it at some point. He just can't react to it because he knows he shoots from unconventional positions. He's just adding on extra arguments and conclusions, talking about, oh, he's beating him down.
Yeah, but didn't add anything. I can show you recordings for like, if you want, I can show you like recordings for things like.
Regardless of everything, I put his argument into question, and he just said because he's pinned down on the floor, he just went circular. I just pointed out clearly why it didn't logically follow that he would not be expecting the beam, and he literally repeated himself. So there's no way he won the point. It's just retarded.
Yeah. So, if either of you want me to like fact check something in the recording, then I'll do that tomorrow because it's like 11 a.m. PM. But yeah, for now, Jester won the point both rhetorically and argumentatively. So if y'all like just want to move on with that, then y'all get to the next point.
Sure.
Okay,
the next thing I want to bring up. This is the last thing I'm going to bring up, by the way. Then after this, we can just wrap up the debate. I think the earlier instance, these two instances that you're mentioning, I think this is a weakened Yuta. I don't see why this is a full powered Yuta. I'll phrase it like that.
Why don't you think so?
Like shortly after this, like after like getting blasted, his crazy energy starts drowning. Like he has like a crazy amount of crazy energy, so it's not like it can like just one blast drain him so much. It has to be like gradual, right? So I think he's just been getting drowned. Like his crazy energy has been drowning.
What's the point where they state that his curse energy starts getting? Because his curse energy is
the same chapter.
Is getting yeah. Hold on, I'll show you right now. They start stating he's overusing his curse energy post him getting like violated. I think so. Yeah, it's post. So I don't know what's your basis for him being this Yuta being weakened. I just think he exerted a lot of curse energy.
Wait. You're saying this is post him getting violated?
Yeah, they don't say it before.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't think it matters when it says, because obviously like the second they say it, it's used to like transition into Vika coming out, right? My point is like it has to be gradual.
Do you know
because
why
this is an insane amount of energy.
Okay. Do you know why they say he gets weakened? Because he's using RCT, which means
he's been using RCT.
Which means these times when he gets blasted off by Ryu, he used RCT to heal himself back.
He's been using RCT before this too.
Yeah, but he wasn't tired yet. He was ready to go. Now he's tired. Now he's probably tired.
Why? Where are you getting this from? That he wasn't tired? It sounds like an unfounded claim.
They don't assert he's tired until
that's an argument from. That's an argument from Simons.
No, well, if Ryu sees him now and he's like, oh, he's getting the water tank is slowing down now after they fought, but they've made statements about him punching the water tank before. If while he was fighting him, he would have been like, "Oh, you're probably weakened right now." When did they make claims? They hit him. They're like, "Yo, I feel like I just hit a big ass water tank. Of
That is
cursed
not what
energy.
you're talking about. If you're talking about the water tank as in like his cursed energy pool, and now you want to say water tank is like how durable he feels, those are completely different things, by the
He
way, bro.
uses CE to amp his stats. That's exactly
Yeah,
what they're
obviously,
talking about.
but
Look, yeah,
that's
but
not.
okay. So then that is what he's talking about, because this is
No,
the
no, no,
statement.
no, no.
When they say he's bottoming out, what do you think bottoming out means? He's talking about like, oh, he's losing his reserve. He's losing energy. He's not as strong as he was before.
Yeah, okay, but I don't think that bottoming the tank means right now. Like they could feel like they're hitting a tank, right? But hitting a tank is like hitting something that's like really heavy or like really durable, right?
You're not understanding.
If
Wait,
you want to
let me
say in
explain.
this sense, if you wait, hold on. If you want to say this in the sense that they're hitting his cursed energy pool, because that's literally what the water tank is in reference to when they talk about like him running out of it, right? If that's what it's in reference to, these two things have no connection to each other, by the way.
Okay, you're completely misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm saying that when they punch him, they're like, oh, I feel like I'm hitting a big water tank, right? When there's a lot of water, that means there's a lot of cursed energy. If you agree to me that he uses CE constantly to amp his stats, when he has a lot of CE in him, they're like, okay, this guy's super strong. When they say he's bottoming out, that means he's running out of water. That means he doesn't have much CE and he isn't as strong, because we know Yuta states he's on the weaker side of people. So now, if RCT is what's draining him, and he just got massively injured on 2 occasions and had to use RCT quite substantially to heal himself, then after him saying he's bottoming out, it wouldn't be fallacious for me to say that he's only weakened until post him getting violated by Ryu twice. That's just
I think that's just a guess,
argument.
though. It's just a guess, though, is it not? Like before this, when Ryu's fighting him, Yuta's like completely interacting with them, like, and he's like engaging with them, so they don't see Yuta like panting and shit. Afterwards, when they take a breather for a second, they see Yuta panting, and that's when they're like, "Oh yeah, it's bottomed out, right?" Just because they don't notice the distinction because Yuta doesn't show these signs because he's fighting, right? He's not like panting or whatever.
Do you
That just
listen to
implies.
yourself?
Yeah, I know. My point literally is hold on.
Why am I getting muted?
My point literally just is that Yuta's draining or Yuta's getting tired,
Okay.
right? But they're not noticing this because Yuta's engaging in physical activities, so they're not realizing it right now.
Yes,
That's literally it.
I want to break this down because I don't know if you ever played a sport in your life. You're not tired yet if you're able to still consistently perform well in physical activity. You're not tired yet. If you are no longer able to and you're panting and huffing and you can't move anymore, that means that you're tired. So then he'd bottom out. So what you're saying is literally helping my argument, saying that he's bottoming out, so he's no longer strong anymore until post him using RCT, because he just had to heal himself from the 2 times Ryu threw him. All my argument is, and you're still running around and doing loops and doing tricks and just not really attacking, is that he gets massively injured twice. They state that he uses RCT to heal himself from 2 massive injuries from Ryu, and then now he's bottoming out. They previously established that when they punch him, they could feel how strong he is. He doesn't make a reference to him being weak at any point in the middle of the fight or during the fight. He only does it after he's used RCT and drained himself. Wait, listen to me. It's logically consistent for me to say that this nigga that was not weakened mid these engagements. He was only weakened after because he had to use RCT to heal himself. Please address that, or just shut up and drop the point.
Okay. I'm just gonna be simple. Yuta has like an insane amount of cursed energy, right? So they could feel like they're hitting a tank because even at a moderate amount of cursed energy, he's still very strong and durable, right? But my point is the RCT, which is to take out a lot of cursed energy. That's what was described, right? Really like heavy cursed energy taxing technique. He's been using this before and after, and I've also said it's gradual. And I said it's not going to be just 1 or 2 RCTs that's going to drain him. It's been like the entire fight is getting drained more and more. I think I've presented more than enough reasons as to why we can't establish Ryuta a full-powered Yuta. If you think you've presented enough reasons, we can just conclude, bro.
Yeah. So you agreeing that he has a giant pool of CE? He has a fixed output. If he could still output a certain amount consistently during the fight. You saying that his pool draining some X amount doesn't allow him to like put out like the same output? If he's not tired and panting yet during the fight and he's only panting after, that means he was still okay for the remainder because he only has some certain output. If he's panting and puffing, that means that the output isn't the same. He's completely run out and now he's actually tired. So you saying that you have no basis to assert that he's weakened here. Like it's not there.
You don't have to like just be standing there shitting yourself, panting, puffing. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! When you're like tired, right? It could literally be like you could be tired and still not show that much of a reaction, right? We see you just sweating from the get go. So like I've presented like more than I've presented more than enough reason for him to be fatigued. Do you want to conclude, bro?
By the way, you get slowly tired. That's okay, but you could still perform at a high level.
Yeah, at a high level, not his highest level.
There's being tired, and then there's being fatigued. I don't care if he's a little tired, but he can.
We're using them synonymously. Yeah, we've used them synonymously so far.
No, not necessarily. You're not using them because you're saying you're not using them synonymously.
You were.
No, I wasn't. I'm gonna explain why. You could be tired, right, and still perform at a high level. That's consistent in even humanity and us regular humans. You could be fatigued and you can't do anything. Even if he's using up a lot of curse energy, everybody's always using up a lot of curse energy and is consistently performing at a high level during the fight and until they completely run out, right? He's completely run out and he can't perform at that level anymore. So during the fight, during that's not a strong man. During these engagements, I didn't strong man. During these engagements, you can't assert that he's not performing you can't assert that he's performing at some significantly lower level than he usually does, because after we clearly see the distinction between him during the fight and then post that when he's using RCT. So your argument is just not going anywhere. So it's just really dumb.
Okay. I'm gonna just wait. No, we're not. I'm gonna explain how your argument's a straw man. Your argument is straw man because what I'm contending isn't the fact that you can get tired as the fight. Like obviously, I agree. You're gonna get like gradually tired and like fatigue, tired, all the distinction. Right. Hold on. You brought that up before. Like there's a difference between fatigue and then tiredness, right? The way I'm using the word, I'm using for fatigue.
Listen. Wait. You said that we don't. You're trying to say that we don't agree that there's a distinction. I agree that there's a difference between being fatigued and just being a little tired, and I made it clear that you could be. And I'm not saying I'm directly addressing something. I'm presenting an argument to explain something to you what's happening in the fight. So I'm not strawmanning you. All I'm telling you is that you could be tired and perform at a consistently high level. Do you agree with that? Yes or no?
And you can be. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so if you agree that somebody could be tired and perform at a consistently high level, right? Then what argument do you have anymore? What's your basis for saying okay? Yuta's like not out the tank here. He has CE to keep doing these things. He's just tired here. So why do you not think? You just agreed. Okay, I'll conclude it.
No. Go ahead. I'll conclude afterwards.
Okay. He just agreed with me that you could be tired and perform at a consistently high level. So Yuta could just be tired and still be performing at a consistently high level. This guy basically just conceded to me and got executed within 30 seconds of me asking him that question. We see Yuta clearly be fatigued because we've made a difference after. He's fatigued, puffing and hunting because he does have no CE anymore. I've talked about that you have a fixed output. He could still put out the same output consistently because we know we agree he has a lot of CE. The only thing that runs to it is his RCT, and then I'm saying he got blasted twice and he had to use RCT, and then he'd be huffing and puffing after. So if that's the case, he's been performing at a consistently high level during the fight. He's only weak in post using RCT, which is after he got blasted by Ryu twice already. So he wasn't weak and he wasn't significantly weaker when he fought Ryu. So this guy's argument is garbage. He literally conceded to me and he has nothing. So it's just bad. He's not looking good for India. You could go make your conclusion.
What the fuck? Anyway, I'll do my conclusion now. Okay. My point's pretty simple. I think because he's on the positive, by the way, so he's like trying to connect the Ryu to like the full power Yuta, right? The thing I like agreed to at the end was I can perform at a high level, and then I like early in the recording I just made a clear distinction. There's a difference between performing at a high level and performing at highest level, right? If a lot of your curse energy is drained, you're not performing at the highest level of your strength, right?
Argument,
no, that definitely is not a new argument. Definitely not a new argument. I'll like outline these parts from the rec. I'll outline these parts from the rec. Mute him. I'm concluding, bro. I'll let him finish.
Wait. I'll just check in the recording, but. Go on.
All right, cool. Yeah, look, Shinra even vouched. Shinra's been advocating for me, Luli, and he even just vouched to chat. But regardless, I said there's a distinction, and then I said that okay, it doesn't have to be evident because you're not sweating, huffing, and puffing the entire fight, right? But he could still be tired. You're just not seeing it because he's constantly engaging. I then say there's sweat all on his face right now, meaning that he's getting tired and worn out. I'm using this synonymously. Jester can have a distinction, but what I'm saying, his foundation initially, keep this in mind, his foundation initially for someone being fatigued or tired, he was using synonymously too. He said he's sweating, he's huffing and puffing. That's why we can infer that he's fit. He's running low on cursed energy. Keep in mind that's a standard. Then I said, okay, he's sweating throughout the entire fight. Sure, the second one isn't happening where he's huffing and puffing because it didn't stop, right? But he's sweating the entire fight. So I think I have more than enough reason to believe that he's weakened. I have a bunch of things to use. I'm using a lot of piece of evidence in order to confirm my idea, and he's just he's just saying the same thing over and over again. But yeah, you can give your judgment.
Yo, the fact that he didn't address the RCT argument is insane to me. This dude is the worst debater on this planet. This nigga's
yeah, I'm gonna check the recording for the second point either tonight or tomorrow. But as of now, I'm gonna say the Jester one. This may or may not change depending on what happened in the recording.
Cool. That's cool.
This nigga is trash. That's what you brought me back for. About you brought me back to get slapped for the.
When the recording gets checked, I'll just say the judgment is not going to stay that.
Tanwin, why are you addicted to agreeing with things that shaft your argument? Why do you do every time? Every time I watch you debate, you just agree with something that fucks you. Every time.
Bro, it's over. Just retire.
He's in here dick riding because I beat him in an ox battle. He started dick riding.
Also, how could it possibly even go to this point if you have the character who should easily win
Dead Boy, Tanwin told me he beat you. Dead Boy, come up on stage, bro.
No. Before you bring up on stage,
Let Dead Boy up.
That's judgment. That's judgment, by the way. I'm not even saying
I want to make it clear that 85 people in this call thought he just got eviscerated. But before
hold on, Jester, was this devil's advocate for you?
Hey, hello.
I truthfully believe that thing.
Hey.
Okay, we should talk about that some other time.
I just don't.
Hey, Dead Boy.
Let's talk about the fact that Tanwin is getting audiences of 83.
I'm gonna tell you.
How is that happening,
bro? What's happened to this community? What's happened to this community?
No. Don't do that. I'm getting audiences of 83.
Okay, my bad.
Me and Dead Boy pull 50. Come on now. That's not just
Dead Boy.
Dead Boy 49. He pulled 49, bro. He pulled
49, bro. You are the 50th person on stage, bro. Come on.
What the fuck?
Listen, hey, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me tell y'all boys something real quick.
Allah, talk to us, bro.
No, I ain't losing that nigga. Only one judge gave the one judgment. You know what the one judge is?
Who was it?
Fucking nigger Shinra, bruh. Come on,
yeah,
bruh.
it's
Frosty, and definitely someone else.
Frosty didn't even give us judgment, you stupid ass nigga. Didn't even
He definitely did. You suck, bitch. I already beat you. Jester can say whatever he wants. Jester has the judgment right now, but you suck, bitch. You're fucking horrible, Dead Boy.
What?
I don't give a fuck,
begin?
We gotta handle this.
When did he get this
honest, bro. You got negative.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened here.
That's funny as fuck, bro.
You think it's like head trauma at this point? He got so many times.
I hate when these kids this thing they're good because I lose to someone good. Like, what the fuck?
You lose to everyone. Bro.
I'm the goat, bro. Dead by your fucking ass, bro. I don't even
want to talk.
Let me talk
to you, bro.
It's
not even worth it.
It's not even worth it, you said.
Hold on. Let me talk.
Alright, mic down. Let's chat. Keep chatting,
Mic down.
Who dragged him up on stage, actually? Matter of fact, let me check audio. Who dragged this nigga off stage?
I want to get into your Yellow Fest, but I don't know why someone talk. Wait, hold on. Be quiet. I don't know why this nigga Tom was talking to me to any type of way. Lying.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, what's I'm trying to say? Like, what, nigga? First of all, slow your roll, nigga. I don't know what the fuck you this shit is.
Yeah,
precisely.
No.
All your dick riders can't save you anymore. The North is in the mud, bro. The North is in the mud. Big India took over the North. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a fuck out of you, dumbass.
There's no way I just said that.
I don't give a fuck about what you want to tell me, bitch. I don't give a fuck. You're an actual retard. You're an actual
like that at all. You're not like that. I don't know why
no way you want to
he's not like that.
shit
He's
to
not
me,
like that at
bitch.
all.
I'm
Wait,
tagging
hold
you
on,
an Indian accent. This is fucking
niggas
real,
change
bro.
up when they get an 80
Fucking
fucking
suck,
crowd
bro.
audience. This nigga lame
Fucking
as a bitch. I
horrible.
beat this nigga
It's
87 times.
literally
I beat this nigga
impossible for
80
me to
niggas.
even
This nigga lying ass,
communicate with
stupid
you. You
ass,
fucking
bitch ass
loser.
nigga. This nigga
Bitch ass nigga.
nigga's a lying
Fuck
ass
off,
nigga,
bitch.
bro.
You
I
suck,
already
bro.
Stop
You
saying the
suck.
N
You
word,
suck.
bro.
You
Stop
suck.
playing
already
this. Stop
You
playing
suck.
this.
embarrassing,
You
bro.
Oh
can say
god,
the N
no,
word.
You suck.
dead ass. No, not
Embarrassing,
only that is.
already
Chill.
embarrassing nigga,
I'll
bro.
chill.
You know
Chill.
what I'm trying to say,
I'll chill.
bro? I
But
hate niggas like that, bro. I
yeah,
hate.
Deadboy, I'm not gonna lie.
Wait,
Deadboy, wait. Let me get the goat in here. Wow, it's your
I don't
turn.
give a fuck about none of that shit. Ace, you see how
Yo,
niggas, you see
Alright,
how
bro,
niggas,
that boy, shut
switch
the
up
fuck
and
up, bro.
change.
Shut the
Get his
fuck up,
ass.
You see
nigga.
how
I
niggas
thought you
switch
at
up
the
and
oh,
fucking
Get
change
his
pool party and
when they
slapped
get
the
a
shit
little,
out of
when they
you,
get a
Naz.
little switch. You's a bitch
bro,
ass nigga.
this is too
No.
unfunny, bro. This is too
Blaze
You's a
unfunny,
God
bitch
was
bro.
the
ass
goat,
nigga.
bro.
My
Y'all
mama
boys
This
soul
is
when
really
I
too
get,
Blaze,
unfunny.
wait,
bro.
hold on, every
Oh my
time,
god.
when I get Tommen, on my mama soul, when I get him, I'm gonna embarrass the fuck out you, nigga. I'm not even
Oh
talking no
shit.
more.
Alright,
On
yeah,
my, when I
we
get
Hey,
can run
home,
it back,
when
King.
I
We
get
let's
can
home,
run it
let's
back.
do it. Let's do it.
my
We can run it
soul,
back, King.
fucking
Don't worry about
Raul,
it.
nigga, shut the fuck up, Jahib, you pussy ass bitch.
Hey,
Dumbass.
Sakazuki,
Come on,
You're
Sakazuki.
nigga,
fucking
I don't
weird,
What's
work.
the
bro. You're
name?
I
What's
don't
the
fucking
even
name of
take
your
weird.
this
Colin
shit
went
stage?
from
out,
calling Dead Boy a bitch to calling him
Come
king.
on, bro. Fuck my
Insane.
little boy, bro. Niggas a
I'm
bitch, bro.
trying to like make him feel a little better about himself, bro.
Come on,
It's
bro. Nigga,
cool,
what you
there,
mean feel
boy.
better, bitch? I
It's
get
cool, there,
money. I just
boy.
fuck a hoe
I'm
yesterday.
whoop
What are you
your ass
talking about?
again
You a
later.
fat
I'm
little
whoop your ass
Indian bitch that
again
bet you
later.
paid for a
All
little.
right,
Shut the fuck
it's
up.
cool, bro.
Fuck wrong
These
with you, bro?
guys.
You making
These
yourself feel
guys.
better because you thought you get a little dub off of me. That's why you so happy, nigga. This nigga busted nut when the fucking Sinver gave us judgment. You nasty ass.
What the
This nigga's a
fuck?
bitch, bro.
You're gay as
Niggas,
fuck,
oh, well, I
bro.
sent you. Let me talk. Let me talk. Be quiet. Let me talk.
You're gay
I
as
sent you. I said,
fuck.
well, let me talk. Let me talk. I sent you not prior to this. This nigga Tom was not even gonna talk to me like that. The fact that there's 78 niggas on here and he trying to act hot like that, that's funny as a bitch. My mama's
I'm
so
hot
funny.
like that.
No,
That's
no,
the
shut the fuck up.
problem,
No, no, no,
then, bro.
shut the
Yeah,
fuck
this
up.
is
Shut the
like
fuck up. Wait, shut the fuck.
bro.
No, no,
This
shut
is
the fuck up.
literally like how
Wait.
good I am.
Shut
Like
up. Shut
me,
up. Stop
you,
talking. Stop
like
talking. Stop
compare
talking.
me to
Stop
you.
talking.
I'm
Stop
better.
talking. Stop
There's
talking.
nothing
Stop
else to
talking. I'm not
hear.
even talking about a debate.
There's
I'm not even
nothing
talking about a
else
debate.
to
I'm
it.
not even talking about a
There's
debate.
nothing else to it,
I'm
dead
not
boy.
even talking about a
Dead
debate.
boy. Yesterday I
I'm talking about
realized how
respect.
fucking
I'm talking
horrible
about
you
matter of
are.
respect. I'm talking about
Like
matter.
He
I'm
said
talking
he
about
had an
matter of respect.
epiphany. He said Vishnu
I'm talking about
blessed
matter of
him with all
respect.
the fucking
Vishnu,
divine
bro.
I'm talking about
knowledge.
he
matter of
Vishnu
respect, bro.
showed me the truth. He showed
Come
me the
on, bro.
reality of
I'm
it.
talking about matter
Dead
of
boy.
respect.
You just
Come on, I
aren't
don't give a fuck
good.
about none of that shit. I'm talking about a matter of respect, nigga. You don't like what the fuck? This nigga
Dude,
don't
that
act like
I literally debated you, and afterward I said, "Okay, cool.
no, I don't know.
I'm
I
better.
don't
I
give
was
a
better
fuck
in
about
that
none of
debate.
that, nigga. You
If you want to
talking
come
crazy
in
like
here
you're
and
not like
lie
that.
about
But
what
Tanwin, I will
happened,
go to
I'm
New York
not
and
going to show
punch
you
in your fucking
respect.
chest,
I'm
nigga.
not
You're
going
an
to show you
Indian
respect if you
debating
want to
ass
lie about
40-year-old
what
little
happened.
nigga, bro.
You are a
Do what the fuck you
liar,
are,
and
bro.
you're
You
making
can't
out to
talk to
seem
me
like
like
you
that,
won.
nigga.
You did the
I'll
same
go
thing
home
with
and
Filthy
embarrass you right
earlier.
fucking
You
now,
said
nigga. Fuck
Sam
wrong with
judged
you?
Filthy losing to
Come
you.
on,
Sam's
bro.
came in here.
Come on,
Sam
bro.
said,
You talking
"No,
about a
I judged
debate, nigga? I'm
Filthy
not talking about a
winning."
debate. I'm
You
talking about
are a
respect. You
liar.
talking
You
crazy.
are
You're
a
not like
known
that, bro. You're
fucking
not like
liar.
that, bro.
That's all
You're
you
not
do. You
like
Fucking
that,
sit here
bro.
liar,
and
You're
you
not
man.
like that,
lie
bro.
You
You're not
fucking,
because
you
you're
like that,
fucking
bro.
liar,
You're
terrible.
not
man.
like
All
that
you
at
can do,
all,
you're a
bro. This nigga
fucking
trying to talk
entertainer.
crazy,
You don't
bro.
know
I
how to
don't like that
Discord
shit at
debate,
all.
bitch.
You
I don't like
bloody
I'm
that shit
better
at
hellcat.
than
all.
you.
This nigga
I'm
talking
Fucking
better
liar,
crazy,
man.
bro.
than, and
This
it's
nigga talking crazy as
everyone
fuck.
knows.
This nigga talking
Everyone
crazy as
knows.
fuck, bro. Everyone
Everyone
knows you a
knows.
bitch, nigga. On my mama soul, you
Everyone
mind this?
knows.
This nigga would have never talked like that to me, but now you want to
No
talk
one takes
crazy?
your
My
gangster
mama,
shit seriously
shut the fuck
anymore,
up, shut the
Wait,
bro.
fuck
hey,
up, shut the fuck
wait,
up.
why
Shut the
don't we
fuck
just
up. When I
settle
get
this when
home,
Dead Boy
shut
gets
the fuck
home, bro? Why don't we just settle it when he gets
Wait till I
home?
get home. Wait
That's
till I
what
get
I'm
home. On my
saying.
mama
Because
soul,
he's
We
you trying
can.
to
waiting.
talk crazy? You
We
want to
can.
talk crazy like this right now? When I get home, you gonna leave beats like a little bitch. You gonna go cry,
Yeah,
nigga.
you're a
You
loud
been like,
mic.
come on, I
You're
don't
a
give a
loud
fuck on
mic.
that
That's what you're
shit,
gonna do.
bro.
You're not debate.
No, fuck
No,
that.
no,
Fuck
we'll make
that.
sure it happens. We'll make sure it doesn't happen. We'll
No,
make
no,
sure it
no,
doesn't
no. That
happen.
won't
Yeah.
happen. That
Cause
won't happen.
listen,
No.
It
wait,
won't happen, Talon. Let's just back up
Leave
your
it to
talk.
me. Leave it to me and
You can
Rook.
debate.
Leave it to me and
I
Rook.
have my judgment. You're the one trying to get your get back. You can try getting your get back.
Real nigga shit, Tom. I don't give up on no get back, bitch. I beat you 87 times. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and the one, yeah. I wasn't fully realized, bitch. I wasn't fully realized. I fucked you up, bro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You were better. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, but you've been better than me almost my entire career. But I'm better now.
He acting like he gets paid.
Wait a minute.
You suck now, dude, boy.
Answer my question. Can you answer my question?
What's your question?
Bro, Sam's he acting like he gets paid.
Let me talk real quick.
Literally,
So,
you
thinks he signs contracts for this shit.
Wait, everyone be quiet. Everyone be quiet.
let me talk real quick, bro. Since you feel like you gotten better, that give you the outright right to come on the stage and disrespect me, nigga. I just come up here for 2 seconds.
Yeah, okay, let me speak now. Let me speak now.
Let him speak. He's not done.
Let him finish.
Let him finish.
I ain't say
bro, he's gonna go on forever.
Let him finish, bro. You can speak after. Let him finish. Go ahead.
I keep chatting, bro.
Wait. I'm chatting. Ace, back to fix it. I came up here. I get off mute. He starts talking crazy to me, right?
This is true.
Come on, bro, nigga. I used to own a server with you, nigga. Now you get a little.
I don't know why you're on
niggas
time,
trying to say you good. Wait, hold on. Now niggas trying to say you good. Now all of a sudden you want to switch on the niggas that been riding with you, nigga. Man, nigga, fuck you. You's a bitch, bro. That's that pussy nigga.
This is true. This is
you know
true.
that.
This
You
is
know you a
true.
bitch for that shit too, bro. You not even like that to even talk. I come up here to even say my opinion on the debate. You want to start disrespecting me, cursing and yelling at me, nigga. I don't like that shit. You pussy and you fall for that. When I give them, I'm embarrassed the fuck out you shit like that, bro. You pussy for that shit, man. Nigga, I used to own a server with you, nigga. We done merge rockers on and they had me together, nigga. You
Oh shit, getting
That's what I'm
sentimental now.
saying.
He's getting sentimental now.
Talk to him, bro. That boy's an A-tier speaker, bro. S-tier.
Wait, I don't give a fuck about no debate talk and nothing like that. This nigga come up here and start disrespecting me. So when I go home and disrespect him, when I say some things I shouldn't say, I'm gonna be the bad guy. But y'all gotta see, like, this nigga's lame, bro. Nigga wanna nigga get 80 fucking viewers, don't know how to fucking act, bro. Know who the fuck you is, bro. The fuck wrong with you, bro?
Is it my turn to speak now?
Bro.
Is it my turn now?
No, real nigga shit. When niggas talk shit about you, I would say something like fucking dog, bro.
He did, bro. Back when I disliked you.